So 3, 2, 1, action. So guys, welcome back to the White Sand Footy League review show. And today with me I have a debutant. Like him, hate him. Apparently they say he gets stats. Yellow Hawks. Yellow Hawks only signing the. Let me not even hype him like that. Just reach out. So you see, I just start. So now we're just going to look back on the weekend's fixtures, quick review, look at the highlights, lowlights, and like everything in between. So there's nowhere else to start from than your debut. I mean, Yellow Hawks versus Silver Titans. What was the experience?
Personally, I didn't think I was going to start. You know, coming in as a new player, nobody really knows you, so you don't really expect to get that much game time. But unfortunately, not everybody could come. That shows. I don't know what that shows with the mentality of the team. But some people have things to do, so I can't really question anybody on that. So I started playing full game. My approach to the game was normally the kind of person I am, the kind of player I am, is to do me. I talk and do, and I over talk and overdo. But in this case, I was like, new faces, new surrounding. I play white stands here and there, but not consistently, so I didn't want to do too much. So my mindset was, play for the people that have been playing already. This is not the first match. They have probably played 2, 3, 4 matches together already, so they probably know how to play with each other. So I said, let me just add to what they've already been doing. There's maybe a certain flow, how they play. Some of them already know each other. So let me just add to what they do. So I was like, okay, my game will probably be simple. Just anytime I get the ball, release it immediately. Don't overthink. No selfish game. Don't, play for myself. Let me play for the team. That's what I intended to do. But the game turned into, something I didn't expect entirely.
Okay, interesting.
I wouldn't even say it was a game. I don't think it was a football game. It was just a tussle.
I mean, like, that's what they say now. In White Sand, you have to give it like 100%. If you give it 99% and your opponent gives you 100%, you'll come out.
Yeah, but it just seemed like 100% of physicality and maybe stamina.
So, that being said, what did you think of your teammates? What did you think of your opponent? Let's start with your opponents. What did you think of the opponents? Their strengths, their weaknesses. Did they impress you? Did you think they played well?
Maybe one or two individual players. I know that this person is causing problem. Maybe obviously I'll say Weezy in defense. I think he won every single aerial ball against our number 9, mainly because that's his strength. He likes to deal with all those physical challenges in the air. And I'll probably say in midfield, I think his name was Ocampos or something. Very, very agile, very, very, quick on his. He was always. The thing about it is that he was always flat-footed, but he always seemed to move out of challenges. He would be standing still, and immediately had moves. Very, very mobile midfield. I think those two are the ones that I can remember. But one thing I'm very, very disappointed that we didn't get the chance to do enough. I don't know how this is going to sound, but they had a particular centre back. I felt like we definitely should have pinned, like we should have worked on, we should have targeted that particular centre back. I think it was their captain.
Their captain, yeah. Interesting.
I think specifically we should have targeted that. I think it was the left side of their centre back pairing. I think we had a winger. I'm not really sure if I know his name. I know the striker is Corey, but the other winger, specifically, he loved to run in behind. He never stopped running. He loved to run behind. I feel like he should have done more of running without the ball to cause a little more confusion than with the ball. I feel like if we had focused on that defender, focused on attacking him, focused on pinning long balls towards that direction, I think we would have had maybe more opportunities.
So what did you think of your team on like a final note? Chemistry, gameplay? Were you impressed? Was it what you expected?
No, there are definitely certain players, there are a few players here and there. I know that if I can play with them maybe one more time, a match or two, and they can get to understand me, I can get to understand them more. I think I can definitely. And there's some players that were not available. There are also good players I could have added to the team. I could obviously call names now. This is one particular person now that is the reason why I even joined Yellow. It wasn't available to play. I feel like chemistry is a very important thing, especially if you know yourselves outside of that particular White Sands. You know how you guys play. I've been playing together for a long time. I feel like those are very important aspects to, breaking down teams. Two people want to easily, that's another thing that I noticed, that it seems like, or it seemed like, would I say, it didn't look like an 11-a-side game. Like, it looked like it was too clustered.
Okay.
The center, or is it that maybe both teams were too high up, and it closed space in the center, so you weren't really able to see anybody on the ball. Really distribute passes here and there. It was more or less like you get the ball, hustle it out, throw it long, get the ball, throw it long. I feel like every team, defenders had more of the ball.
Okay.
Creativity was coming from clearances, not even long balls.
Okay.
Clearances.
Wow, that was quite a lot. So yeah, yellow versus silver. So what did you think of the two teams? What did you think of the opponent and then your team?
I think we were playing to their strengths. I think they dealt with the long balls. I think Wheezy specifically he's a defender that thrives in area and physical duels. So I think we gave them exactly what we played into, exactly the pattern that they wanted us to play. Now I tried to highlight that, at halftime, saying that I think we should keep the ball on the ground. I don't think they have centre backs that are quick on their feet or quicker than the attackers we had, because I noticed that the forwards that we had Corey and the other guy specifically, like they love to move, they like to run, so they had legs. So I felt like I tried to highlight that we should keep it on the ground, try to play pocket passes through balls so we could run into those spaces. That obviously leaving him behind, and play less of long balls because it was favouring, Wheezy and the other defenders. So I feel like we could have improved on that specific, tactic. And then defensively, maybe try less to leave our fullbacks isolated. I think the left back, there was multiple opportunities where they could have scored from that left side. Now Wheezy Beto made fantastic saves mainly because they had a double up there on the left back. I think we need to improve in that. And then Silver themselves as a team, I think they have 1 point. I think that speaks for itself. So I don't really need to talk too much on how they perform. I think.
But I mean, they've made wholesale changes. So you've not seen them before, but playing against them, did they feel like you were playing a horrible team? They feel like they were playing a team that hadn't gotten any points on the board up to that point.
I feel like we're
playing against them. Could you see? Oh, I get why you guys have 0 points. Type shit.
No, I'll probably say, like, how a team could be good but is performing badly. So, like, for example, now how Manchester United was 17th position last season.
Yeah.
Something like that. A team that probably has potential. Certain players this person is good enough to play for a better team or a better colour, but he's here. Maybe that collectively they're not performing well together. But I think they just don't know how to work with themselves to get results. But I think they have certain players here. There 1 or 2 or 3 players that definitely are good players individually.
Interesting. So on the final notes, what did you think about your own team, your new teammates and everything, and then give us man of the match?
Well, I took time personally to play less. I think I simplified my ball so I could focus on trying to see and observe how they play with each other, because they've had enough time to 2 or 3 matches to play with each other. So I wanted to play to their strengths and keep my ball simple. Every time I get the ball, release it first time so I could see what they want, what they're good at, what they are not good at. So I think we have a lot of runners. CJ as well, midfield is a runner. I think he likes to get forward. So we need to work on how to give him the allowance to get forward and when to get forward, when to get back. So I think we could work with that. He could be a very good player for us. Definitely Corey. I think he has the technical ability. If you could get someone to play one-to-one to his feet quicker instead of long balls. And I think there's a fullback named Pedri. Fantastic. That, I think, to me, he was.
I think that was his first start in this tournament.
If not for Beto and Post, I think his understanding of how you want to play he's very, very fast to adapt to that. There's certain players that you play with that you give them a pass, give them another pass, okay, this is not how he wants it, this is how he wants it. So by the second time or third time, you've already corrected yourself. He was quick to always make corrections, quick 1-2s that we played in the flank there. I noticed, okay, this guy, he'll give it to feet, he wants to receive back, and he was very agile moving forward down the flank as well. Not really, you look at him, you think he's not that physical of a player, but he was, very quick with his feet with interceptions. He had to deal with a lot of 2v1s as well in defending. So I feel like, if not for Bito, he was definitely one of the quality players there.
So I guess your man of the match is Bito.
I have to say Bito because he saves well. He's a multi-purpose player. He can play in lots of positions. So I think it just shows you, the more he has to his game. So definitely Bito, and I'll probably say Pedri. I think Alex in DM as well was fantastic with interceptions as well.
Yeah, he always plays well. So moving on to the next match, Green versus Blue was a top of the table clash. Is what they call the biggest derby in the league. It's always intense. There's always like passion, energy, and all that. So like, what did you think of the match?
I highlighted specific players like that I know personally, or I've played with, or I've seen play outside of White Sands. Like some that I take pointers from, and some I personally feel like I don't really fancy as a player. As a player, I think Tefa is a fantastic midfielder for me. Someone I've played with, someone I've seen. I know his game. Fantastic midfielder, and then some players on blue that I think they're good players, but I really haven't seen much from them. And one specifically, is I'd like to say he's my friend, but on the football field, he needs to do a lot better.
I mean, who is this person that you're talking about?
We go 14 to 14.
Okay.
I'm 14, he's 14.
So blue number 14.
Blue
I mean,
number
like we
14.
don't have. I did try for this punditry thing, but like I don't know everybody's names and numbers now. So you have to let the people know. If you always call
show your number.
It's
only show your number. 14 for
okay.
14. I specifically chose 14 because of that guy. 14 for 14. I want to.
So what exactly are you saying? Is he a baller? Is he trash? Like what? Which one? Is
I won't call anybody trash, but I think the standard is a difference. If we're doing comparison, but if it's how he plays, I think he can. If he plays to his strengths, like I feel like he's a very stubborn player. He's a very stubborn person. Doesn't want to take corrections because he thinks we are trying to prove it. But it's not really an insult. It's just trying to help you point out certain things. I feel like you need to adapt to this and that. I feel like off the ball, one of the most physical, fast, toughest players to play against off the ball. But on the ball, I feel like there needs to be some adjustments here and there. So I'm definitely looking forward to yellow versus blue. Specifically that match. That's my White Sands. That's the game where it's me. That's where I'll show me. Like that's what specifically because of him. So I think that's what I'm highlighting. And then I think one other player. I think I forgot his name. The winger again.
Fati.
Definitely one of their best players there. Standouts, difference maker, effective, simple, get the ball, basic skill moves, get past the defender, puts the ball in. He puts in like 2-3 definite goal-tending, exquisite crosses. And I feel like if I was the striker there, if I was the forward there, knowing how he plays, I would anticipate those type of balls more. Fantastic player.
Okay, so man of the match for like Green versus Blue.
I'll say the winger as well. I think he created enough chances to at least find the goal or two. But the keeper always seems to anticipate the cross before them, so I think that's probably why. But I'll definitely say that winger.
Okay, interesting. Shout out to, as the match delivered on like what you expect. The people that were on the preview show last week all called it a draw, including myself, and that's exactly what it was, because it wasn't predicting a draw wasn't because there would be lack of qualities, it's because of the intensity and like the
aggression,
anticipating the defense to lock in, which they all did. So shout out to all of them. Kosi, Ayo, Tope, Chukuma, even though he was lying down in green, they made him lie down in green pastures. The wing backs, Eric, Korede, Onome, everybody, Benga. So shout out to them. They really did a good job. But now we've saved the best for last, obviously. Hashtag Phoenix Rising. We said it last week. Black Ops came here and like they were running them. If I would start a segment called like Beware of False Prophets, because like Danny Kasam and Olu came here, we're running their mouth and we're saying all sorts. So what was your impression of the last match of the match, the red versus black?
Coming into the game before it started, I highlighted one thing about red. It looked like like an all-star NBA team.
Sorry,
Everybody,
before you go, because exactly where you're going, but like, so before the match, the preview of the last match, a lot of people from the black team or two members of the black team were on the preview show, and they were running them out that they feel, which I understand, you have to big up your team and all these things. Black is this, black is that. So they felt black was like a real Madrid and red was like a real Sociedad. So like, watching the match, who do you think, like, what do you think basically? As because why your perspective is good and important and interesting is that like that was your first time playing in the league, so it's different, and probably first time watching the league, or at least watching the league this season, so it's a completely new perspective. So what did you think, what was your take on black versus red?
I can see why they would tag themselves as Real Madrid. I think they have a lot of attacking power. More than enough players that I've seen and I've played, and I know that definitely quality players. I think they are confident in their attack, that's for sure. And overconfidence can make you ignorant sometimes. You intend to downplay the qualities of the other team because you feel like you possess way too much for them to even comprehend. Yeah. So you just downplay on what they have, and you just start to focus more on yourself than them. So I feel like definitely they have the attacking power, but when you meet a team that they understand themselves, formation, tracking back, covering for each other. And I feel like one thing I noticed about the red, majority of the players are like 6+ foot, like height. So there's a lot of height and physicality in that team. So I feel like what I said to myself is if red score first, it'd be difficult for them for black to come back or to win the game. Maybe a draw at the most, because I definitely looked at our height as a factor there, because with that and then the physicality of the team, I feel like it'd be easier to close up spaces. And certain players like that I know specifically that are very good players like Uche and Godwin didn't have space to do what they normally do. So it wasn't what they expected. Definitely wasn't what they expected. I wouldn't call red Real Sociedad. I would say we give them, this could be like Arsenal or Madrid now. Real Madrid thought they were going to
interesting. That's an interesting
something like that for sure, because Real Madrid obviously firepower that they have, thinking that they're going to, nobody really rates red card this, red card that, and then the scoreline shocks you. I think definitely Arsenal or Madrid is an example of that.
So but then you've given black a lot of praise, so on the flip side, does that mean you're saying the defense wasn't up to par?
Thing is
that it wasn't
when you have a team of all-star players, like a lot of quality players, like players that that time in and time in here during the game, this particular person would demand for the ball. This person is supposed to be on the ball. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4 players like that, it tends to cause a clash of ego, confidence, that kind of thing. Then you tend to force your game because haven't seen the ball for a good while in the game, things like that, and then it causes it starts to disrupt the flow of the game. Then it starts to rush their gameplay, and then they push a lot of players forward. I noticed that they play Samson in a fullback position. For me, Samson is an excellent midfielder, so they play him in a fullback position. If I was Samson personally, I would still be going forward. I would still be, probably introverting to the midfield to try and probably supply more passes, and then he then leaves the defense open with 3, and those 3 probably have to be the best defenders in the league. I don't know if they are, but then that means they have to be the best defenders in the league.
I mean, like they tried, before, also when their captain was here last week, he was bigging up Dara. They haven't considered until this match when Dara plays. They now even one of their new signing, Tony, the guy that looks like one body like this.
33.
Yeah. And who played left back for them? I forget. But still, it's still a solid.
For sure.
I don't know about best in the league, but definitely solid defense. So
I think specifically for this game, it wasn't. Maybe other teams, I think they could still find their way. Quality will prevail, get a result. But this specific game against Red, I think it was definitely because of that physicality and height and the positioning. The Red was definitely tactically on spot with the positioning and defensive setup. And then any chance they get, be it a mistake, be it have chance, capitalize. I think that was one thing, and that's what worked today.
So on a final note, man of the match.
It's between the striker that scored the brace and the keeper.
Okay, yeah, the keeper made a oh yeah,
Keeper
yeah,
made
yeah.
I feel like
We shouldn't just gloss over that. So yeah, what do you think about the penalty? Both the conceding
no,
the
I
penalty and
knew
then the
I knew the keeper
penalty
was going
save.
to. I felt the technique that the player used to take that penalty was, I think he tried to step over the ball. He planted his foot here, then he placed his body to this angle, so you obviously know he's going to go across. Because for you to try and go there, you have to be accurate. So I knew as he bent this way and he planted his foot this way, he obviously had to go across the ball. So I obviously knew the keeper was going to save that. But if that was a goal, the game would have been a different thing entirely. And I think Black was trying to use, aggressiveness in the box to win penalties to try and get back into the game. There were so many substitutes in the game where it was like, ref, do something, ref this, ref that, trying to force.
So basically, they were out of ideas and they're like
That
looking
is
for
absolute Real Madrid mentality. Trying to get a penalty first, then from there the atmosphere changes, and then before you know it, a second goal comes in.
Yeah.
You know it's you win the game like that. So I feel like if that penalty wasn't saved, I think it would have been a different game entirely. So I definitely probably have to say the keeper. That's a very big save there. And it was early, it was still in the first half as well. So that's probably the game winner there, that penalty. But also the striker, shout out to the striker. Those are two clinical finishes there from, I think, 2 mistakes.
Yeah. Okay. So on the review show, usually, so on the final note, on the party notes, we usually do like the review shows, match 11 of the match days. So we'll just go over it position by position. I mean, I guess I'll nominate somebody and then you nominate somebody, and then we can discuss and then come to a conclusion. So I mean, for me, if we start from goalkeeper, it's obvious. Is on a day like this where everybody keeps a clean sheet except Black, it's difficult to pick like defensive positions. But like because the red goalkeeper had an outstanding match on top of the penalty, I mean, is unfair and it's harsh on Bito. But like I feel like for me, my goalkeeper in the 11 is like
because of the penalty save.
Yeah, the penalty save just tips the skill. And it was a good penalty save.
Yeah,
granted, the guy telegraphed it, but it was kind of a decently taken penalty.
For the impact it would have had on the game, definitely. But I feel like overall, full-time amount of saves, I think Beto came out 4 or 5 times to, if he hadn't come out, it would have led to 1-on-1. So I feel like he had decision making was definitely spot on for someone that's playing out of position as well. Okay. So I'd probably say Bito.
I mean, I guess we can give it to him.
I'll probably say Bito.
So right back.
Benga plays left or right?
Right.
Benga had an okay game now.
Was it better than all the other right backs? The right back, was it better than the Pedri guy now, for instance? Or
I just wanted to call Benga's name. It's obviously Pedri, but I just wanted to call Benga's name.
But like we cannot now just okay. Well,
no, it's obviously Pedri was fantastic, man.
Centre backs.
Wheezy, I think he won every single aerial duel that he contested.
So who's your centre back pairing?
Wheezy and I think there's one on red. I would say leadership wise.
Which one, the fair or the dark?
I think it's the dark one, taller one.
Okay.
Yeah, leadership wise, especially with all those corners.
I think that's Bolaji.
I think he got.
So back to the 11 centre backs.
I said Wheezy and one particular person on red.
Okay, yeah, Bolaji. So for me, I agree, but like I think we also have to shout out the defenders on green and blue. Personally, but
you can't really pick out. I think they were on each side. I don't really say any of the 4 of them had a lot to do. Like they had
fair enough. But like for me, like I've always said it. Like my favorite centre back partnership in the league is Blues partnership because I think they complement themselves very well. Yeah, they may have like they may be more high profile partnerships like Green, like Kosi and Chukwuma, but like I like Tokwe and Ayos centre back pairing because I think he complements well. But like since you are the guest today, we'll give you.
Well, I'm saying based on what I've seen, I need to analyze people more. I think it's Green or we're playing. Yeah, I think it's Green we're playing.
Yellow versus Green.
I think then I'll get to see what Green is all about.
So left back.
I don't really have any on mind now.
If you don't know the names, you can just say the left back for this team. Or
I think he should come from Red as well. Red second half was too.
but he was not that gave away penalties. So doesn't that count for something?
Oh, I'm not really sure of the left.
I mean, he played well. He played fantastic football. Don't get me wrong, but like generally, those type of things, especially on a match day where 5 teams kept a clean sheet.
I can't specifically think of a left back or this particular or this number. Or this, I can't really think of any specific person. I said this left back. I don't really have anybody in mind.
Oh, okay, left back. Blue had Onome, green, Korede. Who's yellow? Who was left back for yellow?
I'm really sure.
Okay, so
I'm still new to names.
Left. Aji still played left back.
Let me give it to one, man.
Well, for me, Sha, you know the old white sign saying, when in doubt, just say Korede. So I think left back, because like it's also not easy to deal with Fati. That was one of the matchups we pointed out in the last match. So,
if
that was always an interesting. Fati will always want to get better of him, and he himself, they agree. So I think we should just give him the left back spot.
Yeah.
Midfield 3.
CJ was everywhere. The referee was blowing quite a lot too. I think the referee stunted his game. CJ is a very physical player, so every duel he went into, every challenge he went to, fouls. I think that really limited what he could do, but definitely someone he could utilize more. So CJ, Campos is quick on his feet like an octopus. And the last one I'll probably say.
I mean, there were plenty. Michael for blue, Gabi for red. I mean, from last week, you could tell that Black wanted to single him out. That's the red DM. So, like, there were a lot of other people in midfield. But like, let's hear you.
I just have CJ and Campos on mine, I think. Those are people that stood out for me. I watched. Can't really think of a third midfielder.
Okay, well, me, third midfielder, I'll just put Gabi in there because, like, I mean, had a solid game. From before the match, Black was saying how will he handle their midfield, blah, blah, blah. I guess he silenced those doubters and answered those questions. So, front 3, right wing, left wing, striker.
I keep on forgetting this winger's name.
Fati.
Yeah, I think he's definitely... Right. Striker that scored the brace, clinical.
Aguero, yeah.
Clinical. And the other side, let me see.
It's true. How many?
I'm thinking based on take-ons, chances great. Eden.
But he played in midfield.
Yeah, but he was on the wing a lot too.
Yeah, but he played in midfield.
He was in midfield. I saw him on the wing a lot. He caused a lot of problems on the wing there. Who else would I say on that wing? Because that blue and green fixture, it was just all I saw was clash. A lot of physical clashes. The ball was not contained for more than 5 seconds by one person. Clash. I think definitely it was definitely a derby for real because nobody had time on the ball. Michael always has time on the ball, but not in that game because that game was choked. So as I said, I can't really spot out one specific person. And this person was, so I can't really think of anybody from those two teams.
So how about Black and no, because nobody on Black has entered this 11. No, let's not.
Oh no.
So nobody played it well.
Where people kept clean sheets and people were,
Okay, so
Black.
So
there's no Black
is out of it. Silver. I mean, that Silver wing plays a major problem for them generally. So I don't think they have anybody.
No, I can leave that one to you.
Okay, so I guess red. We will just move Aguero to the left wing and force Collins into because the person that was playing center for because I think red were playing something that looked like a 2. The second striker, he gave the Black defenders a lot to think of. Yeah, Aguero scored the goals and was clinical and all those things, but the other one gave them a lot to think about. They are big defenders, they not have it easy. So just for like the effort and the amount of work he put in for the teams, I think he deserves to get into the team. So
this is just mainly of people that I noticed, like I saw instance of this person.
Yeah,
I think I'll get fond of more players now for sure. Because over maybe the next 2 match days. But for now, I think this is basically what I saw. I was just trying to observe, not don't do too much, keep it simple, keep my voice down, basic, just like that, just to see how it's like. And then when it's time, it's time. When it's time, they will know it's time. Now. It's not.
Well, Shamos. So on a final note, fixtures for the weekend is red versus blue, yellow versus green, silver versus black. Score prediction or match prediction. Let me not put score. Let it be easy. Just win, lose or draw.
This is about time for silver to face black. Trying to find your form, trying to find your play style, working on things, new signings. I think black will use this one as like get back on winning ways. I think black will win that one.
So you are going for a black win.
A black win. And
yellow versus green.
I'll say that one last.
Okay, red versus blue. First, so for context, when they played the first leg, blue won 2-0. So
that means blue must be very good. I think in the midfield, I think that's where blue has a lot of bodies. I'll go draw.
Okay.
Defense versus attack. Good defense, probably. I'll go draw.
Okay. Yellow versus green.
Green. I will draw.
Draw too. So you heard it here first. Black win, and then drawing the rest of the fixtures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been delightful. There you have it, the review show. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Look, I feel like if I play with Michael, he's the kind of person that gives the passes I'm looking for. Those pocket passes.
Yeah.
But you don't get time to give those kind of passes.
In White Sand. Yeah, you can't find time. Unless it's because of the type of matches also.
Unless you are like a one-touch release midfielder. You touch the ball, you release it immediately. Because if you try to caress the ball, boom, you're already clattered immediately.
True.
So you have to touch, immediately release. So you are aware of where you want to pass to before you receive the ball. Receive the ball immediately, one touch, release it. And your touch has to be immaculate. No matter how they give the ball to you, if it's bouncing, if it's on one touch, release. There are so many opportunities to give pocket passes because both teams squeeze up. Then it's so congested in that center. Whereas if you're receiving that ball, before you even receive the ball, you're supposed to know where you're supposed to play it to. And it's not over the top. People feel like if you kick the ball over the wall, you're beating the defense. But before that ball drops, the attacker has to get the ball down, control the ball, look up, then figure out how he wants to finish or if he's going to pass. All those rush of decisions can make it harder. But if you give a pocket pass straight on the ground, it takes away the control now. And he's already looking up.
Kicking the ball over is definitely an art because for you to kick the ball over, not just hoofing it.
Yeah, for sure, but like...
land so now if somebody does it correctly, if you kick the ball over the defense, ideally it's supposed to land in the path of like the defender. So yeah, you still have to control it because the ball is coming from up.
Yeah, but I understand that, but what I'm saying is like the measurements of that pass between the back line and the keeper, so many times either the defender is clearing it or it gets to the keeper. It is never within that gap, that small gap. It has to be a perfectly timed pass into that gap or offside. So 3 variables that makes that pass difficult. But if you give a pocket pass on the ground, before the defender can set to even turn to run, he has not even seen the pass. He's facing this way. Before the defender can turn to make that run, you're probably already in. You don't need to control. You're already looking up. By that point, you're already deciding how you want to finish. The ball's already on the ground. Pick a spot. It's very simple that way. So if midfielders, if you have a particular midfielder that can play that, he's very good with ground pocket passes. He knows your game. His flow like that. That's what I'm saying. If I had Kene knows my game. I know Kene's game. I feel like we have definitely scored silver. I don't think there's anything special about that defense. Only Weezy. For sure, only Weezy. So I'm saying like you need to have an understanding with 1 or 2 players on your team. I feel like you would definitely blossom. That's what I'm saying. Black have a lot of players that play with each other in different places for a long time. So I'm saying things like that. Personally, I wouldn't want to play for an all-star team. I don't think I want to play for a team. Even if I was an all-star player, I wouldn't want to play for a team that's packed with quality players. It's giving PSG now.
Yeah. So, but Black, I don't. Well,
You know why it won't be a problem? Because it's like the the way the proportion of how the quality is shared around the teams is not equivalent.
I think it's equivalent.
It's equivalent in different departments. Some people have better defenses,
Yeah.
absolute better defenses. Some
Yeah.
people have better midfields. I think it's like that. Better defense here, better midfield here, better attack here. This team is washed. I won't say the teams, but like you know where it is.
I
now.
don't know. I don't know.
You know where it is now. So when you look at the team, you know that this is where this is. This is where that
I don't
is.
know.
Things like that.
Things change really fast. Matchday 3, Red was bottom of the table, 0 points like Silver. 4 match days later, they're on top.
What do you think is the reason for that?
I had said it in the last episode, but I think Red is a very good team. One of the most decorated teams in the league, because first season they won the league, last season they
So
won.
it's in the culture.
Yes, but the real reason was that the bad start, I think, was, first of all, a lot of players left Red at the beginning of the season. And then they had to do like a lot of changes. Red has always had problems with like bench. So it's basically an 11 and maybe just one sub, sometimes no sub. So that's an issue. But then at the beginning of the season, we signed a central midfielder that was linking the play. So like it was a very good 8 because we played preseason matches. All the teams played preseason match. And in preseason match, I think Red beat Silver 4-0 or something like that. We were fantastic because everything was clicking. The attacking midfielder, the defensive midfielder, and especially that 8 was linking play. But unfortunately, he pulled out before the league started. So I think readjusting the tactics, the formation, the strategy with that gap in mind affected. So we had to go back to the drawing board and throw everything out of the
So to get back into that rhythm, man,
and
took
then
time.
now create something
Yeah,
again. So
I
yeah,
understand.